and I'm not going to let you make me nobody. Now, Imam W.D. Mohammed, he has proven to me that he worked hard. And Allah reward. He told us he used to stay up all night long. And his wife would come in there and see him studying from the previous night, early in the morning. So Allah rewards that. He was looking in the same way during this month that Muhammad the Prophet was looking when he went to the cave of Hira. Because he was looking for solace. He was looking for a break from all the madness of this world. Now we know that when Allah showed the angels His creation and the beauty of His creation, they said, oh Allah, oh my Lord, how can anyone go wrong in such a world? And then, the way only Allah can, in the next instant, He showed them the condition of the world after man had his influence in it. And they said, oh Allah, oh my Lord, how can anyone go right in such a creation? And Allah said, what? I know what you know not. So Muhammad, he was reeling from the effects of that creation that they were looking at. Look at all this bloodshed. Look at all the madness. Look at people that are outside of their Adamic nature, that are outside of the Deen al-Fitra that Allah has created the human being on. Why, you can't even recognize any humanity in them anymore. You don't see any humanity in them. People that are doing horrible things to their children, like they were doing back then. Burying the little girls in the sand because they were gang mentality people. Am I in Newark? I'm close enough. And New York is right there. I think y'all might have passed us. Y'all grabbing bigger headlines than the size of your city. But it's not just here. This is not to point out Newark. It's all over the country, really, and even going into the suburban areas and rural areas. That mentality. Well, that was present back then during what's called Jahiliyyah Arabia, the days of ignorance, or some translate pre-Islamic Arabia, where because of that mentality that they wanted a big crew, a big posse, so they could roll on the other posses and be stronger than them. When they got news, Allah says, when news of the birth of a baby girl came, their faces became dark. They were disappointed. And they used to practice, they had a practice, infanticide they call it, beyond inhuman, of burying the baby girl alive in the hot desert sand. This would bother the mind of any person that's still in touch with their humanity. They didn't value her as a human being. We're talking about equality, right? Yes, equality of the sexes, right? Okay. So we look at today, where you read the paper, you look at the television, you have to turn it off if you're intelligent. Because don't think that this is just by happenstance or tacit arising. It's by design. It's by design. They want to darken your spirit. They want you to be depressed. They want you to be without hope. So we see instances where, people are mutilating and killing their own sons and daughters. One man put his little baby boy in an oven. Another one cut the head off, decapitated it. So they want you to be depressed. They want you to feel that there's no hope. And that's why they don't want you to believe in a God. Don't think they just targeted Muslims. They've already done a job on the Christians through the Catholic Church. They were first, right? The Catholics. So when you think about them, they want you to believe that all of the clerics, all of the priests, they're all pedophiles. That's not true. Too many of them are. See, Allah says stand up for justice. That means you got to call it like it is. You got to call it like is against us. We have to talk about our problems too. We can't pretend we don't have any problems. When Allah says most of them go on the eat list, not paying attention to the signs, He didn't say except the Muslims. Most of them mean humanity. Aren't we in humanity? And further, Allah says, if He would have punished mankind, He didn't say except the Muslims. If He was to punish mankind for the sins that they have earned, if He was to punish them for what they have earned, He wouldn't leave on the back of the earth not a single human being. Yeah. So what's His idea about holy man? You got some holy men that you want to hold up for. We have to read the Quran. And better yet, as Imam Mohammed taught us, we have to comprehend the Quran and understand the Quran. The Quran is not just, when Allah says, Ikra, Bismi Rabbika Ladhi Khalaq, read in the name of your Lord who created. That's His first communication to Muhammad. So right there He's saying what? I'm the creator. That's how He introduces Himself. And by taking the logic to its conclusion, as the Imam taught us, that's saying, if I'm the creator, there's a creation. I'm responsible for the creation, not you, and nobody you know. If all of you get together, Allah says, they couldn't even create a fly. They can't even get the fly. You ever try to get a fly? Before my wife and I left, we said, hey, what's all these flies doing in the house? Normally, I'm the one that's on bug patrol. She took over the job from me. Now, I can't stop her from killing flies. But the point is, look how difficult it is. And even a little gnat can go up in your nose and go up in your brain and kill you. So you ain't responsible for your existence, your life, nor your death. So stop playing games with the minds of the people. They tell you openly that they're in a battle for hearts and minds. They're battling for hearts and minds. So what is freedom? Oh, this is Operation Freedom. They use it as a cover for their misdeeds. Freedom and justice. So we have more than one word. We have more than one word. So the point I was trying to make about the Arab Spring, about being devoted to the service of God, the point they were making was this uprising that we see in the spirits and the soul of the people, what they call the Arab world, but really it's mainly the Muslim world. We know all Arabs are not Muslims, and all Muslims are not Arabs. But they were trying to make the point it's not connected to anything having to do with Islam. Now, I clearly heard them saying Allahu Akbar. That's the only way you get enough heart to go up against a military machine like they have in Egypt. It wasn't I've been to Egypt. Some of you here went with me. It is definitely a police state. They followed us around. They followed me around. And I've been, Allah blessed me to be, at one time I could pick up the police like that. When you live in a certain way, you have to be sensitive to that. Allah blessed me, they followed me for so long, it finally dawned on me, they followed me. And we wasn't going nowhere but to the pyramids and the museum, sightseeing, before we went to Hajj. Before we went on to Jeddah and Medina and Mecca. So they pulled us over. I'm trying to pick up some of the, because of Egypt, I'm trying to pick up they have their own dialect, their own Arabic dialect. And I asked the brother, I said, what's the problem? He said, they want to know when you're leaving.